My brother Paul Kagame has done a wonderful job on the reform of the AU. He handed over his notes to me. I intend not to let down my brother. This AU, we are going to reform it. And we are going to make AU a fit-for-purpose organization so that we can sort out the things Ali Dangote is talking about, so that we can have clarity in where we want to go. We can get the Africa Continental Free Trade Area moving and being a reality so that our business people can trade across this continent, so that we can move across this continent. We are struggling to get market elsewhere when we are not trading enough with ourselves. Intra-European trade is at 70%. Intra-Asian trade is at 60%. Intra-African trade is at 16%. If we make the AU a fit-for-purpose organization, and that is our intention, the notes President Kagame handed over to me says we must do 3 things, and which I intend to persuade my colleagues for us to achieve. Number 1, to use AU for our economic diplomacy, to make sure that it speaks to having a unified market in our continent, making sure that the ACFTA works, we have the same regulations, the borders that exist stop being barriers, but instead being bridges into the next country. And I say this because in EAC, intra-trade between Rwanda, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, the EAC countries, is at 28%. It is the highest in the continent. It is the single highest regional economic bloc that has trade at that level. We intend to pull the rest of the continent in that direction, and it tells you that the 16% can actually get to 50% if we do things right. So this is the trajectory we are looking at. We are also looking at making sure that the AU deals with the challenges of infrastructure. You heard the president here talk about infrastructure. We must make the AU fit for purpose to focus on a few things, not too many things. Security and stability, economic diplomacy, infrastructure, period. And then we make sure that it serves the continent well. It will give us voice, it will speak for reasonable numbers, it will help us push against unfair trade deals, because we have the numbers to say no to the EU if we are standing as Africa. But if I'm standing as Kenya or Rwanda, they can push. Yes. But if we are standing together, we can make sure that we push our agenda properly. Let me finalize by saying, to support our private sector, even our private sector today, they are molested by financial institutions. They are told you are investing in the wrong place. You cannot put a factory in Africa, it is risky. They are charged high interest rates. That is our responsibility. The AU must be able to fight for a fairer international financial architecture that de-risks investments in Africa and allows investors like Aliko and others who have the courage to invest in our continent to get resources at rates that make business sense for them to invest.